Hello everybody, it's EK from Gorman Designs, and I am coming in today with the second part of my three-part feature of 5 fast cards featuring the July Mediterranean Drain subscription kit from White Rose Crafts. If you've missed the unboxing of this kit's all about the paper. I will include a little doodly dob up there to let you go see the unboxing if you've missed it. But since this kit's paper is just extraordinary and gorgeous, so many of my projects, I just want to feature the gorgeous paper. So for my first card today, that's exactly what I'm doing. I am featuring this stunning paper. I am taking the Scrapberry Stains ink and just kind of adding a little more yellow around the edges of both of the papers, both the paper and the ephemera here, just to kind of distress them and pop the yellow even more than it actually is. I actually kind of thought about leaving the card just as it is, but in the end I ended up pulling out the Sparkle Blend sequins and adding them throughout the card just to give a little bit of embellishment and pop. I used my, English. I used my Ranger's Glossy Accent to add the sequins to the card and called it finished. Again, this paper is just exquisite. I don't know if I've ever worked with paper this pretty in a subscription kit before, but it's stunning. For card 2, I actually pulled out 2 pieces of ephemera and one of my stamps that's included in the kit. Now, the blue Scrapberry pigment ink is not included in the kit. I pulled that out. I think it's actually I got it from a previous White Rose Crafts kit. But the yellow I didn't feel would do exactly what I wanted it to do, so I went ahead and pulled out the pigment ink and let it do its job. If you're not familiar with the Scrapberry ink, it's actually incredibly affordable ink, nice quality ink. Yeah, and when I say it's incredibly affordable, I think this little cube of ink is less than $1.50, but it's definitely less than $2. So it's really, if you're needing colored pigment ink, it's a great investment because it's not an investment. So I did all my stamping, and then I added the long strip, and I wanted to pop up the sentiment, and then I realized I also wanted to add a ribbon around the sentiment ephemera. So I actually just simply pulled up my double-sided, or my 3-dimensional tape, and added the little bit of twine to the card. I almost left it here, but then I remembered I had a super cute little fishy wood charm from the subscription kit, and I added it to the bottom of the card. I have a newfound love for filling in wood charms with glossy accents, just because when it dries it becomes really cool looking. They have this shiny interior. Anyway, yeah, new obsession. And there you go. There's card 2. For card 3, again, I wanted to feature the paper and the ephemera, and it's so easy. Seriously, I could make 20 cards. No, I couldn't. I could make 12 cards because there's 12 pieces of paper from this kit. That's just piece of paper and then ephemera. I'm trying not to do that so I can show you a multitude of things you can do here. But for this one, I added a strip of the Metallics cardstock, and then I added the really pretty paper, and then I added the 2 pieces of ephemera, both of which have been fussy cut out in a non-square way, and added them to the card. I ran out of my Tombow tapes. Now you have to deal watching with me with score tape. On that note, I'm not crazy about the Tombow tape. If anybody has any recommendations, please put it in the comments below of a rolly, quick application tape. I wanted to make the card feel a wee bit more special than just the gorgeous paper. And I thought if I added some shadows around the dimensional images, that the card would actually feel 3-dimensional and thus look really cool. And yeah, it worked. I definitely pulled out my Copics, pulled out my favorite shading combos, which is the N0, 2, and 4. And the effect to me was perfect. It did exactly what I wanted it to, making everything look 3-dimensional without actually having to deal with any of the pop. And there we go. We have card, oh, was that 3 or 4? That was 3, because this one's 4. Now I'm using a piece of scrap leftover paper that I did a card in my first collection of 5 Fast cards featuring this door paper because I wanted to show off how you take a really crazy wild paper like the door paper and you make a really simple pretty card out of it. Well, I'm doing that again now with the leftover scraps because I'm still in love with the door paper. And I like how you can take a piece of printed paper, cover half of a A2 card frame with it, and still end up with a really cool card. I kind of wish, in hindsight, I'd taken some of that blue twine and added it up the strip, up the seam where the paper and the card is. But I like how the card came out regardless. I backed the ephemera with some of the iridescent paper just to add a little visual interest and add its own bling and flair. And then I stamped the sentiment with both the yellow scrapberry stain ink and just some black VersaFine ink, and pulled out a couple of sequins to add to the card to bling it up. Sometimes picking which sequins to use is the hardest part of card making for me. I'm not naturally one of those people who can add bling. I've had to really force myself to do it over the years, but I think I'm maybe starting to get it. I don't know. But it's nice, simple, fun card 4. For card 5, this is actually a piece of ephemera from the 12 by 12 cutouts included in the kit. You actually get 2 12 by 12 scrapberry cutout sheets, ephemera cutout sheets, and this is one of the pieces for it. And it was kind of a lot. I knew where I was going with this card, or I thought I knew where I was going with this card, and I was like, I just need a little bit more. So I pulled out this piece of ephemera and thought, oh, it's just not going to work. In hindsight, totally worked. To stamp the sentiments, I used 2 shades of brown scrapberry ink and layered them on top of each other to get an actually uneven, ununiform piece. Then I pulled out the stickers, the Jolene stickers, 3-dimensional stickers from the kit, and went a little crazy. And I love how the ephemera ended up working out with the stickers. It all seems to just really go together. You have a bonus card today. Whenever there seems to be card frames in the kit, I tend to make bonus cards out of them just because I forget to use them. And then I'm like, wait, no, I want to use them. So now you get a bonus card. I stamped out the cute little summer housing villas onto some watercolor paper and then pulled out the scrapberry stains ink and a little water and just watercolored with them. Yes, you can do that. You can watercolor with your stains ink. Ends up being, yeah. And I ended up painting outside the line, so then I just flicked color onto the paper and then used my dry brush to pick up areas where it was too wet. I wanted more houses throughout the background gray cardstock. This is a 6x6 card frame, by the way, and it is included in the kit. But I stamped out the 2 houses kind of in a random, not well thought out pattern, and then taped down a piece of the printed paper. And I love this printed paper. I want to wallpaper my house with this printed paper. There's just something soothing and happy about it. Because there's a matching envelope, I added some stamping to the envelope just to give it a little bit more visual interest in the mail. Now I fussy cut out those trees. I fussy cut out the houses and make you watch it. But also knew I had the little blue house in the wood charms, and I've been planning this all along. Since I saw the little blue house and saw the little houses in the stamp set, I always knew I was going to include the 3 together in some kind of card. I added some ribbon, and yes, I should have done this before I adhered down the paper, but I added some of the velveteen ribbon that's included in the kit. When I say velveteen, it is velveteen. It is very soft. And adhered the houses to the ribbon, not the river, to the ribbon, to the ribbon, to the ribbon, and glued the wood charm to it. And because I now have a newfound obsession with wood charms and open slats, yes, I took my glossy accents and filled in all those holes. By the way, interesting fact, a velveteen ribbon is incredibly absorbent, and if you squeeze glossy accents on top of it, it absorbs through. I finished this card off by adding the ephemera, and I will tell you, this card was made from really selfish reasons. I have a friend who's moving, and I want to send her off with a card, and she moves a lot, so I thought this would be a really great moving card because the adventure continues with homes. Thank you so much for peeking in today. There's one more video to come, so stay tuned. And until then, happy crafting.